What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Scott here, man. Breaking down the rest of this NFL Week 17 slate, man, for the Sunday games and the Monday game here for y'all, man. Let's just get right into the slate, man. We got the Buffalo Bills taking on division rival New York Jets in Buffalo, man. The Bills are still trying to clinch that second seed in the AFC. There's no clinch scenario for them on the table this week to do that, so they're just gonna have to keep pace in a win against the Jets. The Jets are having a terrible season, 4-11. Aaron Rodgers does not look like Aaron Rodgers. The trade with Devontae Adams does not help. They've had a big whole bunch of changes with the franchise. Robert Salah got fired. The GM Joe Douglas got fired. A lot of things been going on. They've already begun the GM search. This has been a train wreck for the New York Jets, and I think it's going to continue. I think the Bills going to win this game, and they're going to be one step closer to being able to clinch that second seed next week in Week 18. Man, we got the second game, Jaguars Titans. Like let's be real. This is not a game you should be watching. It's one of my skip specials of the week. Nobody cares who wins. This is Mac Jones versus Mason Rudolph because they've benched Will Levis. I'll say Jaguars just because I trust them a little bit better, even though the Titans defense is way better than the Jaguars. But I like the Jaguars offense just a little bit better than I like the Titans offense, man. This next game is a big game. Buccaneers trying to continue their pace. They love the big loss last week against the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. So now they've got to keep pace. They do not have their fate in their own hands to win the NFC South. But if they win today, if they win this game against the Panthers, who've been playing very, very well. The Panthers got a win last week in overtime at home. Trevor Howard walk off touchdown in overtime. This is gonna be a tough game for them, but they need to win this one to be able to keep pace with the Atlanta Falcons. I love how the Panthers been playing, but I do think giving them a little bit too much credit just because they haven't been, ass. But I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers in this one. They get the home dub. Next game, another skip special. Raiders Saints. Both of these teams are on vacation already. They're thinking about where they're gonna be spending their all season. Man, I'm gonna go with the Raiders in this one, which is not good because they want to get a higher draft pick, and if they drop from pick number 2 to pick number 6 with that win against Jacksonville, and I think it's gonna take their stock even lower. But I just don't like anything over there with the Saints right now. So I'm gonna go with the Raiders. Cowboys and Eagles. This is a big game right here. For the Eagles, man. The Eagles is looking like they're gonna have to go out there and roll with Kenny Pickett, a quarterback again as of right now. I don't think Jalen Hurts has played in practice all this week with that concussion that he had last week against the Washington Commanders. That's why I think the Cowboys gonna win this game. I didn't really like how the offenses looked with Kenny Pickett. And granted, it was a lot of that was on the wide receivers too, and on the running back. Saquon dropped a ball he should have caught. Devonta Smith dropped a ball he should have caught. The defense stopped playing when they took that big lead against the Washington Commanders, took their foot off the gas. But without Jalen Hurts, unless there's a last minute change and he's able to play, I don't like this form. The Cowboys have won 4 out of the last 5. Cooper Rush has been playing well. There will be no CD Lamb for them because they're going to rest him for the rest of the year. He had the shoulder issue and they have nothing to play for, man. But I'm going to go with the upset in this one. I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I just don't like the Eagles without Jalen Hurts. Colts Giants, another skip special. The Colts are technically still in it, but let's be real about that. They're not in this, man. I'm going to go with the Colts with this win over the New York Giants. The New York Giants are already thinking about what day they're going to ship out Shedeur Sanders jerseys. Browns Dolphins. The Dolphins are also still technically in this one. The Browns not been the season they expected. They've restructured Freaky Deshaun Watson's contracts. That does mean he will still be around the team. Doesn't know when that's going to be because he ruptured his Achilles. I'm not expecting him to be playing at least to the second half of next season. But in this particular game, I think the Dolphins stay in the hunt and win this one against the Cleveland Browns, man. This next game, massive implications. NFC North matchup. This is the Sunday game of the week. This will be at beautiful US Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. It will be the Minnesota Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers are 11-4. They've already clinched the playoff spot, but it's right now it's about them seeding. Pretty sure they want to stay at the 6th seed. They don't want to drop to the 7th seed, and they have to play Philadelphia in the second round. You want to avoid Philadelphia and Detroit at all costs. Detroit is not set in the first seed yet, or they don't want to play Minnesota again because Minnesota could be number 1 seed. A lot of variables going on right here. For the Vikings, they need to win this game. to still keep a chance to win the NFC North next week. Because next week they play the Detroit Lions with a chance to not only win the division but to win the number 1 seed in the NFC. But they can't do that without a dub against the Green Bay Packers. The Packers, this is a game right here. The Vikings took easy work of them first week of the season. I think they're playing well. I think Kevin McConnell's playing well. I do think this is going to be a very, very close game. Would not shock me if the Packers won. Fuck the Packers, man. I'm going to Minnesota Vikings in this one. I think they win a very, very close game and keep pace with Detroit Lions. Sets up a massive game next week, which not surprised me if that game is Sunday Night Football because, the final week of the season, the games aren't really set in stone. We have Sunday Night Football. We got the Commanders taking on the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons who control their fate to win the NFC South now with that win last week and that loss by the Buccaneers. Now, if the Buccaneers win, like I said that they were going to win against Carolina, then the Falcons need to continue to win to keep pace with them and not give the power back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Week 18. The Commanders had a nice comeback win against the Eagles last week, even though Jalen Hurts got injured in play 11 of the game. You still got to do what you got to do. You still got to go out there and take care of business, which they did. I liked how Michael Penix Jr. played last week. He's a rookie. I'm going with the Commanders in this one. They're home Sunday Night Football. They haven't had a national TV game in God knows how long. I think that crowd's going to be raucous. I think the Commanders are going to win this one. The balance of power in the NFC South is going to switch back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for Week 18. And then Monday, we got a big Monday Night Football game in San Francisco. We got a rematch of last year's NFC Championship game. We got the San Francisco 49ers versus the Detroit Lions. Now, the Niners have been eliminated from the playoffs already, but they will love to play spoiler against the Lions and be able to knock them out of the chance of winning the NFC number 1 seed in the NFC North. Having said all that, man, I think Detroit has just been a juggernaut this year, even with all the injuries, 19 guys on IR. I don't think they're going to lose this game. And of course, they want some revenge on their mind as well, to get a little bit of revenge for losing the NFC Championship game last year, which they had in their hands. If it wasn't for a couple of Dan Campbell blunders, they would have went to the Super Bowl, man. So I'm gonna go with the Lions. And that's what I do think it'll be a close game. I don't like that Lions defense with all the injuries headed to them, but I do think the Lions will win. And like I said, that's going to set up a massive game next week against the Vikings for the NFC North and the number 1 seed in the NFC. So that's all I got for y'all. This is the Week 17 picks, man. It's your boy Scott. I'm not going to hold you. We'll be back next Friday, January 3rd, as we get you ready for the final week in the NFL season, man. So hope y'all enjoyed y'all Christmas. Hope y'all enjoy y'all New Year coming up. Remember, Uber is much cheaper than the DUI, man. So keep up. It's your boy Scott. Follow me at BarberChairScott, all social media platforms. I will holler at y'all on Friday, man. We up out of here.